Hi, today we're going to be starting on Photoshop, or not Photoshop, sorry, we're going to start on Project 3. Now Project 3, if you go to the handout folder, J. Soretta, grade 10 photography, section D, project work, and here is Project 3, which is going to be a journalism website. Now this isn't a web design course, so I'm not going to cover too much detail on that. I don't want you to necessarily know how to build a web page, but we're going to use these web page templates that I'm providing for you to make these. So you can choose from any of these templates, okay? And we'll get to that in a second. Now, if I look at what the Project 3 description is, you are going to be working again alone or with a partner, and you have to interview 3 different people. They have to be real people. You're going to write down the results of the interview. You may not leave class to conduct your interviews. You must do this on your own time or electronically. Okay? During each interview, ask the following 4 questions. Tell us about yourself. A brief biography. What are your future ambitions? 5, 10, and 20 years down the line. What is a typical day like for you? And what 5 items would you bring on a deserted island and why? We're expecting at least 2 paragraphs of work or worth of content for each of these questions. Okay? You are then going to take 10 to 20 close-up shots of this person, so portrait shots, and then 10 to 20 poses of what your subject is doing or what they imagine they're doing. So this should be related to what their answer are up in these top questions. Take 10 to 20 of what they normally do, so during what is the typical day like for them, and take 10 to 20 close-up shots of them holding or posing like they are on the island, in the deserted island. Okay? As usual, class 1 will just be to read through this project theme, decide on who you want to interview and how you're going to interview them and when this will occur. Okay? And you can start setting that up. As well, you can start setting up your web page. Now the way you're going to do that is if I go to this web page project folder and select one of these templates, the way you're going to modify this is here's this index file, and that's what I'm going to look for. I'm not going to worry about these JPEGs, although those will be important depending on which template you choose to use. Okay? And what I would suggest is once you've chosen your template, so let's say I choose template 3, I would copy that folder to your desktop. Inside here is where you're going to save all of your photos. Okay? So if this photo is going to be a part of my project, I'm going to put it in there as well as this photo. Okay? I'm also going to copy and paste this 2 other times. So this is and paste it again. This can be another person. And those will be the files that I'll use for creating my web pages. So here's the one for Jerry, and I'm going to open this. So control click and open with Adobe Dreamweaver. Okay? So this is very similar to Project 2. I'm providing you with templates, so you have to know very little about how to create this website. But it is very important that you put your photos in here, okay? Because if I put the photos out here and then put them in here, this won't work. So put all the photos you're going to use in here. Okay, so here's Dreamweaver. Don't worry too much about the color schemes and stuff. Just work with what you have here. So put in what's relevant. So up at the top, I probably want to change this to the name of the person being interviewed. If your person has a slogan, that's pretty cool too. A lot of these links for now I'm just going to get rid of, okay? Stuff that you don't need, you can just get rid of. So I'll delete that. And I only need 2 other links, so I'll delete those. I'm going to keep these for later. These will link to my other person. So this will be person 2, or whatever the person's name is, and person 3. And those will be linked later. So this may or may not be needed too. So and again, up here, some of this may be relevant, some of it may not be. If it's not relevant, get rid of it. Okay? So this one, maybe I'll get rid of this. And this can be the same as this link. This will be person 1. Person 2, sorry. And this one will be Command C, Command V. This will be person 3. So these will be links to the other people. Now here's where you will enter your questions. So these will be okay, so you'll type in your questions, you'll type in the answers. If you want this aligned to the top, when I click in here, down here at the bottom or in the properties, so if I go to window and make sure the properties is checked off, if it's not, it'll be invisible. So if I click in here, I can set this to be vertically aligned to the top. Okay, so let's put it to the top, and I can have it left or centered or however I want it. Okay, so there is the questions and answers. Now when it comes time to adding in the photo, because it's in this folder already, I simply need to grab it, drag it, and drop it in here. Alternate text, I don't really need to put that, and I don't need to really put a long description. Just click OK. And I can see that the photo is huge. Okay, so if I click on the photo, down here at the bottom, I can adjust the width and the height very quickly. So let me set this to 240 by 160. Okay, and I can see that it's stretched out this website, but if I go to the edge of it here and just move it around, it will adjust everything. Okay, so here I can answer some more stuff. And then if I go to the next line, I can add my next photo. Again, making sure that it's in this right folder. Drag it in. Probably going to be huge. Just click OK. Click, and let me make this one 388 by there. Adjust that, and there it is. Okay? And if I want to make this smaller, I can. Alright? So once I'm done the web page, make sure you save it. Go File, Save As, and make sure it's saving into that folder that you copied to your desktop. Click Replace. If I want to preview this in a browser, I can go File, Preview in Browser, and I can pick my browser. So let's preview this in Firefox. And here's a preview of my website. Okay, I can see there's some text here that I may want to get rid of, which is fine. If I go back to my template, it's somewhere on here. Get rid of that, and here's that text that I want to get rid of. Okay, so now if I add that photo, that text won't be there when I preview it in a browser. Okay, again, I'm just going to get rid of this, resize this, and it's all good. File, Preview in Browser, Safari, save it, and we get a quick preview. Okay, looks good. And that's fine. Again, this isn't a web design course. Now, once you've created all of your websites, so assuming that I've already typed in all the information, put the photos in these, and they're all in the same folder, to make a link, all I need to do is select the text. So if I want this to link to, let's say, another person, I'm going to select that. Then in my properties box, I'm going to click on this link and click on this folder to browse for a file. There it is. I'm going to find the anotherperson.html, click choose. Okay? Then I save it. And again, if I want this to link to that same thing, go to my link, click on here, find another person, click choose. Then if I preview this in browser, click save, this should actually link to that other file. And this will do that as well. Okay, so set up your 3 interview websites and then link them afterwards. Then when you're done, because everything is saved in a folder on your desktop, just rename this folder your last name, followed by an underscore, and if you're working with somebody else, I'm working with Walks, and Project 3. Then put this in the Dropbox.